There's a lyric we Kentuckians sing in harmony on the first Saturday in May.
Where the sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home.
Nearly 148,000 people sang it inside Churchill Downs on Saturday, while clouds eclipsed the sunshine over the track. But Louisville's 2 minutes in the spotlight of the world had never been brighter.
We will sing one more song for the old Kentucky home.
Only 51,000 people got to experience the Kentucky Derby over the past 2 years. The pandemic tightened its grip in 2020, scratched the first Saturday in May, blocked fans from the race that September, covered the crowd's faces in 2021. Many believe us to be in the final stretch of the pandemic, a hope we've carried from the start. And on the first Saturday in May this year, hope carried the winner across the finish line in a scene that pronounced to the world, the Kentucky Derby is back.
Oh, weep no more, my lady.
Rich Strike and jockey Sonny Leone navigated a seemingly impossible route with the same ferocious precision and hope that we've had in this journey for more than 2 years, reminding us all that there can be victory, even when hope is scarce.
It's a wild finish in the Kentucky Derby, and on the wire, Rich Strike does it!
Yes, the sun shines bright.
Don't know what I can say other than it's just an absolute miracle.
The last few days, and for 2 minutes and 2 seconds on Saturday, a crowd of people, celebrities, and fans around the globe provided a glimpse into how things should be, how they used to be, how they're coming to be again. Churchill Downs is empty today. It's beautiful. In the absence of people, there is a lingering aura beaming from the historic Twin Spires into our city.
Where the sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home.
Those lyrics have never been about the weather. If Kentucky Derby 148 was anything, it was a reminder that even against the odds, the sun will rise again tomorrow and shine on our old Kentucky home.
In my old Kentucky home, good night.
Time is a funny thing. You can't stop it, speed it up, or slow it down, unless, I suppose, you're in the months of March or November.
It's all uphill from here.
Twice a year, it's up 3 stories and then 178 more steps up.
Watch your step again.
Maybe too much for photojournalist Dominic Furman.
Oh man, what you got me into?
We're inside City Hall's clock tower. You know the one, right smack dab in the heart of downtown Louisville. The gears and cranks and arms and face, all originals. It has stood the test of time.
It has stood the test of time for sure. And it just keeps rolling.
Greg Winchell, or shall we call him Father Time, is the man in charge of changing this clock twice a year. He's sick of it.
At this point, there's no reason to go back and forth. It just doesn't make any sense.
He's not the only one. Kentucky lawmakers actually filed a bill in 2020 to make daylight saving time permanent in the Bluegrass.
I know one thing, when we jump ahead here in a few days, I think everybody's going to be excited, but when we fall back in the wintertime, that's just something I don't look forward to.
Hodgenville State Rep Brandon Reed was a bill co-sponsor. He showed studies of the time change's impact on energy, mental health, and the upside of more daylight. But the state can't pass that into law until Congress makes the decision. Reed says that is just a matter of time.
This is something we're wanting to do. We've already done our part. We're just waiting on permission from them.
Back up atop Louisville, Greg Winchell will still have to turn these hands when we spring forward this year. He can turn them as fast as he wants, but it's only real time that will tell him when the changes will finally halt. And you wouldn't have to walk up those steps every 6 months.
I would not have to come up these steps all the time, yeah.
Dalton Godbey, WDRB News. Jeffrey Scott Brom is coming home. Home is, was, and always has been Louisville. And by all indications, Jeff is, was, and always has been Louisville's guy. But if there were ever to be a Jeff's Louisville sign hung in town, it better have been preceded by the Brom's Louisville. Because as much as this is Jeff's homecoming, it's also his family's. It's Oscar and Donna still in town, It's Greg and Brian back home too, but it did not come easy.
Hey, there's a reason we win.
When Jeff Brom began his head coaching career at Western Kentucky in 2014, there's still no doubt that the ultimate gig was in Louisville,
You're their homecoming team.
the same city that dubbed the Broms as its first family. Instead, Purdue called first. Jeff went, took Brian and Greg, and garnered respect for a struggling program.
Purdue University, I'm very familiar with it.
Then the cards came calling, but Jeff said no.
I didn't feel it was right to turn my back on these people that have been with me the last 2 years.
That decision wasn't made without family. Taxing, emotional discussions were had, but it wasn't time. It was reminiscent of the 90s, when the Broms used to gather at their Huntsman Trail home for a meal and conversation before cards games. I'm betting similar conversations happened this week within Louisville's first family. It's possible this was the topic of the Brom chatter for a while. It seems something had changed a few weeks ago.
I love this town, this area, and I love this Louisville, so anything can happen in the future.
Louisville, a university that has been shrouded with drama, disappointment, and dysfunction, is in need of leadership. And sometimes they're found in the simplest of folks. Maybe this time it's a loyal family and its sons who just don't care about all the talking.
Let's play football.
Dalton Godbey, WDRB News.
Here's the thing, I'm a Kentucky boy and I've never experienced a Buc-ee's before. So it didn't make any sense why everybody was so hyped up about a gas station. But I get it now.
It was delicious. It's delicious.
This place is insane.
Take the most chaotic state fair and cram it inside a large gas station.
Hey, I've been waiting since I heard it was coming.
Add in anything you want, and that is Buc-ee's.
And of course, we specialize in a little barbecue, home goods, and your typical convenience, beer, wine, and groceries.
The Texas-based gas station has gained its popularity with its signature experience. From gas pumps and the cleanest restrooms you can find, to smoked brisket sandwiches and beaver nuggets.
Not bad.
It's awesome. I mean, it's exciting, all the people in here. And for people to get back out again, it's just great.
Its location in Richmond is the first in the state and opened Tuesday.
You know, between Knoxville and Lexington, I mean, it's just ideal.
Arch Applin founded Buc-ee's in 1982 and knows that people are going nuts for this place. For goodness sakes, even this WDRB News crew made the 100-mile, 1.5-hour drive to see the mecca of all gas stations.
The sales and the sales tax that will be collected here, because we're on the interstate, it's not just Kentuckians, it's everyone traveling up and down.
Reed Elliott traveled from Corbin, Kentucky to celebrate his birthday, Buc-ee style.
You come all the way up here on your birthday. Why?
Because I love it so much, and it's a really beautiful store, and I really love Buc-ee's.
There were thousands here in just hours from all over our state and other states.
Buc-ee's!
Between all the crazy food, delightful restrooms, and absolutely phenomenal service.
The restroom,
What's that?
bathroom.
Yeah. He thought I was an employee.
There aren't many words to describe the experience, so I'll let my first reaction sum this place up. Golly! Dalton Godbey, WDRB News.